Guys, with the drop of Terra Luna, the DeFi sector lost as much as $100 billion. South Korean lawmakers and the SEC became interested in the project since such a high-profile cryptocurrency left the top 10 list by capitalization. They were determined to find out the reason for such a fall. As for Coinbase, now they can legally take away all of your bitcoins. So let's figure out it all together. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission has personally subpoenaed Do Kwon in connection to Terraform Labs. Although the SEC hasn't commented on the existence or absence of a possible investigation, but as the block reported, the regulator is probably already investigating what happened to UST in the last week. Recent events only exacerbate the Commission's attitude towards stablecoins. They've said more than once about the hidden risks of this asset type. Right now, the stablecoin regulatory regime is still under development. But that doesn't mean that the SEC doesn't keep a close eye on everything that happens in the market. It's much more complicated than that. Stablecoin's status in the US regulatory framework is the subject of much controversy. After an investigation, there can be a claim that UST as a security, even though a stablecoin will escape federal securities laws, subsequent transactions may bring it back into the SEC's purview. Moreover, TERRA UST, which is losing its stability, may lose its rights because it's not based on making money for investors. In other words, a change in the facts and circumstances surrounding the asset could change the SEC's attitude toward it as a security. And that's where the vast problems begin. The project can safely forget about any recovery, if only the project averted a very tricky situation. But it's far from over. The National Assembly promotes a trial on the Luna coin incident and is determined to figure it out. The Luna and UST network shocked the entire global crypto market. In the global virtual asset market, a market capitalization of $200 billion evaporated in just one day. The DeFi sector collapsed by $100 billion because of the Terra Luna coin crash, and Terra lost about $30 billion. At its peak, about $31 billion in crypto money was locked up in its blockchain. Now, it's a measly $224 million. All these events had a negative impact directly on the entire crypto market, and various investors swore to themselves not to hold this asset again, which is very sad for the project. But it didn't end there. On May the 17th, at a plenary session of the Political Affairs Committee of the National Assembly, a member of South Korean's People Power Party said that there was a part that raised questions about the behavior of exchanges during the collapse. The statement said that from the 10th and 11th of May, trading on exchanges such as Corbit, GoPax, and Bithumb was stopped. However, Upbit, which is number 1 for market share, didn't stop trading until May the 13th. Chang Hyung-yoon also informed that the exchange continues to generate revenue even when the coin drops in its price. Upbit, the last which stopped trading, earned about $7.8 million in commission income in just 3 days of operation. He believes that the relevant officials of the exchange, including Do Kwon, should come to the National Assembly to hold a hearing on the situation. Together, they could understand the reasons for the current situation and take the necessary measures to protect investors. At the same time, Korea's Yonhap news agency, citing anonymous sources, reported that financial regulators began emergency inspections of local Bitcoin exchanges. Guys, what we see here is typical. Fraudsters made some money, platforms didn't hurt themselves either, getting almost $8 million in commission income, but only ordinary people were left with nothing. It's all the same here. I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't give advice that should direct you on a true way to earn money. I hope you understand why I don't do that. But I can advise you with confidence that you should always rely only on yourself and not anyone else. That way you can achieve much more, and life will be just easier. Such a high-profile collapse of a top 10 cryptocurrency coin could not go unnoticed. Confidence in DeFi has plummeted. Investors are going back to the 2018-2019 concept, namely Bitcoin and Ethereum are the best the market can offer, and everything else is a scam. If you look at the volatility history of algorithmic stablecoin, you can understand the reason for this opinion. Of all algorithmic stablecoins, only Frax has not lost a peg by more than a few percent. On the other hand, not all technology has to find its place. and that's the harsh truth. Hey, and now you have a few seconds to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications. And now moving on to the final topic about the Coinbase risks. So let's talk about the situation around such a significant exchange as Coinbase. You may have heard the saying, not your keys, not your crypto. A platform could be hacked, or it could just cheat you. And there have been many such examples in the history of crypto. You can just go online and search for something on this topic. I'm sure you'll find a lot of information. But today's news is not about the risk of having your wallet blocked because of sanctions or fraud. It's entirely about legitimate cases, although you can argue here as well. Coinbase could take away not only your bitcoins, but also other cryptocurrencies. There is even a whole scheme on the internet of how this will happen. Peter Brandt reported this on his Twitter account. It occurs in the following way. At first, you buy the cryptocurrency on the Coinbase exchange and keep it there. After that, the platform goes bankrupt, and your cryptocurrency is used to pay off all the exchange debts and compensate the shareholders for their losses. How do you like this perspective? If you don't believe that could happen, you should look for the company's report online, which Coinbase must file every quarter because it's a public company. It says that the assets of the exchange's users are included in the list of those that could be used to pay off debts in case of bankruptcy. Already on May the 11th, Brian Armstrong wrote on his Twitter that this is just filing out the form according to the new requirement of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. He also added that investors shouldn't worry about the exchange isn't facing bankruptcy. But the fact is, the company's shares have already lost more than 80% since November 2021. And if you consider Coinbase's reports, there is nothing happy to be about. In the first quarter of 2022, the company had a net loss of almost $430 million, and the forecast for the next quarter is also terrible. So I feel like I have to warn you, don't keep large amounts of money on exchanges no matter how big they are. I'm sure you wouldn't want to be an active user of Mt. Gox in 2013 who lost all his money. No one would have thought that was possible because the exchange was the leader in its niche. So you should always try to diversify the risks, which are plentiful in the crypto industry. Guys, I tried to make this video interesting for you, so if you found it helpful, give this video a thumbs up please. Thanks for watching, your Coin Post.